Marvel fans, 2026 is not slowing down, especially with Avengers Doomsday on the horizon. Between massive new releases and long-awaited projects, something unexpected just entered the arena. A full retro revival. Limited-run games, Marvel games, and Konami have officially announced the Marvel Maximum Collection, bringing 13 classic Marvel titles from the 8-bit, 16-bit, and arcade era to modern platforms. These were the games that tested reflexes, friendships, and patience. Now they are back with modern upgrades. If you love classic superhero chaos, you're going to want to see this. The Marvel Maximum Collection compiles 13 comic-to-console and handheld counterparts from the late 80s and early 90s. I mean, they were all the rage back in the days for classic consoles like Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis/Mega Drive, Game Boy, and Game Gear. The number might raise eyebrows at first glance. The reason it adds up to 13 is because alternate console and handheld versions of the same titles are counted separately. Different hardware versions often mean different gameplay adjustments, visual differences, and difficulty tuning. But for now, let's take a look at the currently confirmed lineup. Let's start with X-Men: The Arcade Game. This has to be the crown jewel of the collection. Originally a 6-player arcade machine, it delivered chaotic co-op action with Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, and Dazzler battling Magneto's forces. The arcade experience defined superhero beat-em-ups for a generation. The Marvel Maximum Collection adds rollback netcode for this title, meaning online co-op will emulate the smooth responsiveness of standing shoulder to shoulder at an arcade cabinet. That feature alone positions this as the definitive way to experience the game today. Next, we have Spider-Man/X-Men: Arcade's Revenge, which was released across multiple platforms and combines Spider-Man with several X-Men in mission-based stages. Every character here played differently, and they all had varied mechanics and difficulty spikes. The SNES and Genesis versions differed in presentation and controls, which makes having multiple versions in one package significant for preservation. After that, Captain America and the Avengers stands as another arcade standout. It featured Captain America, Iron Man, Hawkeye, and Vision fighting Red Skull and a roster of villains. Fast-paced combat and bold comic visuals defined its appeal. Home console ports brought scaled-down but distinct versions, now preserved together in this collection. And if you have played Spider-Man/Venom Maximum Carnage, you might remember it for its red SNES cartridge. I mean, it's instantly recognizable. Based on the Maximum Carnage storyline, it leaned heavily into comic aesthetics, street-brawling action, and cooperative gameplay. Its Genesis counterpart delivered a different audiovisual feel, and both versions are included here. Then there's Venom/Spider-Man Separation Anxiety, which functioned as a follow-up to Maximum Carnage and expanded co-op mechanics while emphasizing symbiote chaos. The Genesis and SNES editions had notable differences in sound design and performance. Having both ensures historical completeness. And lastly in the retro revival lineup is Silver Surfer on the NES, which remains infamous for extreme difficulty. One hit could end a run. Precision was mandatory. The design turned it into a legend of the 8-bit era. Modern features like Save Anywhere and in-game rewind will finally make this title more approachable without removing its identity. The Marvel Maximum Collection is no ROM dump, people. It integrates modern features designed to respect both newcomers and purists. Save Anywhere allows players to stop and resume without restarting entire stages. In-game rewind lets player undo mistakes instantly. Cheat menus open up experimentation. Display options such as CRT and scanline filters recreate the visual texture of early 90s gaming. The collection also includes archival features that function as a museum. Players will also have access to high-resolution scans of original box art, instruction manuals, and vintage advertisements. Also, there's a dedicated music player that allows fans to listen to classic chiptune soundtracks from every included version. The Marvel Maximum Collection will release on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam in 2026. Although, an exact launch date has not yet been announced. Retro Marvel titles have seen renewed interest in recent years. Arcade revivals and beat-em-up releases demonstrated continued demand for this era of superhero gaming. The Marvel Maximum Collection builds directly on that momentum, while preserving titles that shaped how superhero combat translated into interactive form. For longtime fans, this is a return to muscle memory and cooperative chaos. For new players, it is an opportunity to experience the era when difficulty was relentless and design demanded mastery. That is everything we know so far about the Marvel Maximum Collection and the 13 classic Marvel games heading to modern consoles. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want continued updates on upcoming Marvel releases throughout 2026, consider supporting the video and sharing your thoughts on which of these classics you plan to revisit. Subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into Marvel games and retro revivals, and I will see you in the next one.